Are you planning to jump into Final Fantasy XIV once it comes to the Xbox? Or maybe you are a brand new player coming in on any other platform and you are wondering what exactly is the free trial or the free to play version of Final Fantasy XIV, since I know a lot of you gonna be jumping in, especially with how much content here. But just know there is a decent amount of restrictions. And of course, today I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about what you can and cannot do within the free trial for Final Fantasy XIV. But before we hop into all that, I do want to give a giant thank you to everybody that's supporting on Patreon, hitting that wonderful join button here on YouTube, as well as subscribing over on Twitch at .tv/troymaconn, where we stream every single day starting at 7 p.m. Central. And with that, let's jump into this and let's discuss everything you need to know about the Final Fantasy XIV free trial. So to start off here with it, we are getting the information from the official Square Enix website for mmorpg Final Fantasy XIV Support Center. I will have that link in the description because there is, a lot to the requirement here. So let's go ahead and jump on into that when it comes to the free trial itself. So there is a few things you need to keep in mind here when starting Final Fantasy XIV free trial. This is, of course, only for brand new players. So if you're someone who have had a subscription previously and you want to hop back in, or maybe you want to end your subscription to quit the free to play to keep playing, just know you can do it, but the restriction itself is for new people. You will have to make a brand new Square Enix account. So if you're coming from already playing, you will have to start over. If you are a brand new player coming in, nothing to worry about here. And from there, you can go ahead and grab the free trial in a few ways. And the main one we are talking about here is, of course, you can grab it on Xbox here very soon as the game go live at the end of March. But if you're playing on PC, PlayStation, Steam, or from the official client from Square Enix, you can, of course, download it on all the platforms. Just go ahead and search up Final Fantasy XIV free trial, and you will go ahead and find it and download that version, because there is two separate downloads here, with one being the free trial and one being the starter pack. The starter pack itself is, of course, that is the version you have to buy, which will give you the 30 free days and, of course, get you a subscription going. And then the free trial is, the free trial itself. So when it comes to getting this, I will go ahead, have link to all the store pages below. And of course, I will update the description as well once we have an actual page for this up on Xbox, if not already. So once again, check out the description for all that. But with that being said here, you might be wondering what exactly is in the free trial itself. And of course, to start off here, you will get access to A Realm Reborn, which is the base game, Heaven Wars, as well as Stormblood. So you're going to get the base game, plus the 2 expansion. Once again, this is something that could change in the future as they progress through each of the expansion. And with that being said, later expansion might get added to it at a later date. But for now, it's just the base game, Heaven Wars, and Stormblood. So it's safe to say you have yourself a good couple 100-hour plus of content to walk through here if you're someone who mainly want to go through the main story. Keep in mind there are no restrictions on the main story itself, so you can experience all that from the free trial. The free trial itself is mainly getting into a few of the odds and ends and more of the social side, as well as the restriction gonna kick in. So let's go ahead and just cover some of the stuff that will actually affect you for any of you who want some outside game, again, appearances, as well as any of you who might be curious about how the microtransaction work. Because, yes, this is a subscription MMO, but like any game nowadays, it, of course, have microtransactions here in DLC. Most of the stuff is, of course, outfits, mounts, emotes, and whatnot. And the thing to keep in mind here, if you are a free-to-play player, you are able to take part in it. So you can go ahead and buy outfit, mount, as you see fit. The only restriction that comes with the optional items here is, of course, if you are buying something to give to another player, you will not be able to do that. But if you're buying something for yourself, you are completely good to go on that. So just keep in mind, a little bit of restriction there, but nothing that's going to affect too much. But yes, you can indeed spend your money on outfits and whatnot if you see fit as a free-to-play player. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about some of the community stuff and stuff you can do outside of the game itself, outside of buying stuff, which is, of course, your profile. So if you are free to play, you will not have access to your character information from the official website. As you can see items, quests, achievements, currencies, link share information, free company, all this information here you won't be able to take part in. This is exclusively for anyone who have a sub. So if there's something that interests you, that might be something you might want to look into for the sub itself. But for free to play, you will not have access to that page, as well as the community wall and community activities as well, such as the message board, or the course awful link shield, talking with people through the official website, as well as third-party apps, or I get just normal apps in general you might have on iOS or Android, since I believe they have a very similar application, just like the website, that you can download over there. All that stuff you will not be able to take part in. So to keep that in mind for this stuff, if you are looking for the microtransaction in this stuff, that is how that operates. So with the stuff outside the game cover here, let's go ahead and talk about the stuff inside and what restriction you're going to be taking part in here. So when you start the game itself, you of course make your character, but you might be wondering, how many characters are you going to have? Because the amount of character you can create does change depending on which subscription tier you do subscribe to. And when it comes to free to play, you're going to have a grand total of 8 characters you can create. And the character can be spread across different data center or servers in that case. So you can have character everywhere to play with friends on different servers. You do not got to worry about a restriction of having all your character in one spot. You can play anywhere. And 8 is honestly a pretty great number here to actually be able to do. So there you go, 8 total characters, with the level cap being level 70. So this here is easily a couple hundred hours, not counting the story content if you play anything like me. So you can go ahead and take part in that all the way up to 70. And when it comes to actually playing with other people and communicating with other people, there is some stuff here you need to know. So when it comes to chat and public chat, we do have a restriction where you cannot shout, yell, or tell. So, of course, that means you are going to be able to talk in the chat bot in city, towns, parties. But it will only be people that are around you. You cannot scream across distant zones or scream like in city. You can only talk to the people roughly around you, as well as when it comes to like PMing or sending private messages to people. That is also restricted, so you won't be able to actually send PMs at all. So if you're looking to communicate with player or your friend, just know you're going to probably have to do it outside the game, such as on Discord, or make sure the player itself is in your party or around where your character is at any given point. And the other thing you can't do here when it comes to other players is you won't be able to trade items at all with other players, as well as you can't send in-game letter using the Moogle delivery service. So no sending messages that way, so a player can see them when they log on. So you cannot take part in any of that. But when it comes to actually taking part outside of just talking to people publicly, you might be wondering about how do the alliances or guilds or in that case link shells operate. There is a few things to keep in mind with this. Is of course you cannot create a new link shell or a world link shell if you want to talk to people on other servers, but you can join them. So you need to have someone invite you so you can take part in that. But if you want to create it, you cannot do that at all. And speaking of alliances, a type of deal, we do have a different type of alliance in Final Fantasy XIV called Fleet Companies. This is, of course, not only is tied to just like Link Shell, where you can communicate with other players, but you can also take on quests and get points, upgrade stuff, buy stuff. It's like a whole like separate economy thing that is mainly you and your friend working together to do stuff, as well as, once again, the communication side. And that one is 100% restricted. You cannot create or join a free company here. So that is a little bit of a letdown, but at least you can still take part in link shells. But as far as all the content, sadly, that is subscription only. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about parties. How do parties operate in this free trial? And this is probably the biggest like frustration from the free trial version, maybe at least for me anyway, which is, of course, you can indeed join parties if invited, or by using the duty final, which is, of course, well, you do your like dungeons and some of the bot fights from the duty final, as well as some like daily content tied to that as well. So you can join. But once again, that is only if you invite it or duty final. You cannot create a party from scratch and then join in on that content. So heads up on that. You are going to have to be either playing with randoms or make sure one of your friends have a subscription and have them create the party for you. But outside of duty finals, we, of course, do have ultimate ways. Once again, what it sounds like, which is pretty much harder version of dungeon or bot battle, and also kind of thought leaning a little more in the in-game a little bit here. And of course, when it comes to the content, you cannot take part in this at all. And so if you have something or have one of these ways that is around level 70, you're not going to be able to take part in that at all. But let's say you don't care about taking on ways or doing your daily dungeons, and you want to jump into some PvP. Sadly, this is another restriction here, since you cannot join a PvP team or participate in any of the PvP activities or game modes. So PvP is 100% off the table here when it comes to taking part in that for in-game. If that is something you're into, once again, you are going to have to pick up a actual sub. And that is pretty much all the restrictions when it comes to how you're going to be interacting with the player, the parties, and your character itself. So let's go ahead and discuss how do the market and the economy of Final Fantasy XIV operate if you're a free-to-play player. And the fourth thing, right out the gate, you are going to have a cap on how much of the in-game currency gear you're going to have on your character, which is, of course, the currency you get by doing quests, selling items, and whatnot throughout the whole game. And you are going to have a cap of 300,000 gil, which doesn't seem like a lot, but very quickly can pile up here. So you will have that. And then also on top of that, you cannot take part in the in-game market or the player market with, of course, the auction house, or in the case being named the game market board. So you cannot buy anything from other players. So you are going to be stuck spending your money through paying NPC, doing the shop stuff there, or farming the items that you would normally buy off the player market. You're going to have to like farm them yourself, which in return, that right here as well, that 300,000 become a pretty big restriction. Since you can't just go buy a whole bunch of stuff off the player market to get your guild down. You just pretty much got to spend money through NPC. And then also, since you can't interact with the auction house through the normal means, you cannot also put items up on the auction house. So the auction house is 100% off the table, as well as you cannot hire a retainer. Retainers are pretty much operate as an NPC that you can create and give them items. They organize your inventory. So like your storage, they also can be sent out on quests to do stuff. They have a lot of different things that the retainer can do. And they also what allow you to operate the auction house as well. And since you cannot make it, and you cannot interact with the auction house, of course, you cannot take part in any of the activity involving around your retainers. So that is another huge restriction here for this as well. And there you have it. There is everything that is going to get in your way, or just maybe don't really matter all that much to you. But nonetheless, now you know everything you need to know about the free trial at the time of this video. And of course, if you're going to go ahead and jump in here and you only care about the main story, as you can see, you pretty much good to go on that point, at least up to Endwalker. But when it comes to the base game and the Fort 2 expansion, you are good to go. But if you are someone who want to start getting into market, PvP, playing with other people, dealing with other players, this is something that obviously is a huge restriction for you. But if you solo and just care about the story, honestly, this might be the best way to go to experience Final Fantasy XIV. And of course, at any point as you are playing the free trial, you can set up a subscription and roll right into the full version of the game itself. Once again, just know, once you do that, your free trial will end and you can no longer play that character in free trial. But nonetheless, this is still easily hundreds upon hundreds of hours of gameplay for Final Fantasy XIV. But nonetheless, that is everything you need to know about it. Hopefully, you have found that video helpful in one way, shape, or form. If so, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells below for any more Final Fantasy and MMO and gaming content right here on the YouTube channel. And of course, like always, I will go ahead and see you in the comments.